Hi Pixies and welcome back to my channel. I'm Minxie and today I'm standing in front of the museum. I had you guys vote in the community tab what the next build should be and you guys picked the museum. So we are going to get to it. We're going to get to it today and I'm so excited. So the museums are usually my grandest, biggest builds and I put them mostly at the back of the island every time I do an island with like a fairy core theme or like a really big natural theme. I usually put the museums at the back of the island because that's just typically where I have the most room, right? But in this case, I did spend at least 10 minutes, well, 10-ish, probably more than that, scouring the island to see what's the best spot to put this island, put this museum at. And I just ended up just putting it behind the resident services because I really like a museum behind the resident services for some reason. I thought it's like really cute and it does help take up a nice amount of space since I can't terraform because this island map has really wonky cliffs. Like I don't know how I didn't see the wonkiness of the cliffs. I think I was just like focused on how the shape of the river was. But I didn't really think about how the shape of the cliffs would cause a problem for me. And it does cause a bit of a problem for me because I really can't put the bigger buildings on the cliffs. I can put villager homes and maybe the Able Sisters up on the second tier, but like no buildings from what I was measuring can really go on the third cliff. There really isn't a way for me to get the villagers down if I put them up there. Like, yeah, I didn't think this through all the way, but you know what? I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it work. I promise. I don't know how, but it's gonna work. It's gonna work. But anyway, I ended up having to time travel backwards just so that I was able to buy some turnips and all that stuff for the build because I did move a lot of trees and moved around a couple of flowers. I don't really have a lot of flowers to work with though, so I'm gonna have to just make it do what it do and then finish the gaps off camera so that I can go to a treasure island. For anyone new here, I have absolutely abysmal Wi-Fi, and basically it's almost impossible for me to access a treasure island from my film room. um yeah, I'm in the basement, so there's only so much I can do. So I want to apologize in advance if there are still a lot of empty gaps and stuff. That's just the places where my flowers are gonna go. And if you guys saw the thumbnail, it should be completed. And I will also be posting the completed build in the community tab, so keep your eye out for that. I just wanted to preface that before we get started today. Anyway, now that that explanation is over, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. We're just gonna have a good time today. I have an idea, but I really don't want to give anything away. So just sit back and relax, and I'll see you guys as usual at the end of the video. Okay, Pixies, and that is a wrap on today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I enjoyed this build. I think it turned out really, really cute. It didn't turn out the way I thought it would, but you know what? I'm happy with it. And once I get my hands on some more flowers and get like a better color variation of flowers and stuff, I feel like I'll like it and I might tweak some things as the island progresses. But I am really happy with the way it looks. You guys let me know what you think of today's build in the comments down below, and I will see all of you lovely people later. Bye!